So this list isn't looking too bad, but there's more stuff if we get down to the nitty gritty. So we're going to talk about this list. I'm going to give you a walk around of the current condition of the truck and what we're doing, and we're going to make a new list. So here we go. So right now, I'm in the garage and I'm trying to not lose my mind with everything I've got going on. And there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be finished up. And obviously, we're not there yet. And I'm working on a bracket over there. I've been busy working so much and I've not been filming a whole lot because I'm trying to get stuff done in a time crunch. And I kind of need to remember I have a YouTube channel and people want to keep up with what's going on. So I'm going to walk around showing you guys a few things that's currently happening. We're going to talk about the list and make a new list. So this right here, and this right here is just as a guide. This isn't part of the bracket. I'm just kind of using it to... I got to make a battery bracket. Now when I say battery bracket, this is the tray of the original battery. And I'm actually going to leave it. We're going to reuse this tray. But down here, I'm going to make another tray that sits down in the... Well, imagine this is the line of the hood right here. And that's what this is up here for. I'm going to make another tray that sits just down inside of that. That's like 5 inches lower than the old battery. And that way I can set 2 batteries right there in that corner. And to give you an idea where that corner is, that corner is right here. So, old battery up here. New battery right here. They're both new batteries, and then this right here will tie up like that right there to keep from being in the way. And then I'll have 2 batteries over here to run the diesel engine. I went to put injector lines on and found out that the rubber boot that I had for the turbo for the intake is too big and it's going to be a problem. So that can't happen. I had to make a turbo hat, and that garbage that I made, because I should have clocked the turbo, and that stuff I can't go back and change now. That turbo hat's out there on the ladder, and it's dry, and I painted it black. Yeah, so I'll be running the air filter that came off my Duramax. So, yeah. I got my return lines all done for the injectors. I don't have the injector lines on because I can't right now until I get that turbo hat on. I can't put the turbo hat on until I get a new one of these. This one's too big. It's serving the function right now, but as you can see, it's bottomed clear out. And it's just not gonna, and as a matter of fact, I can still turn that in there, and that clamp shouldn't let me do that. So I've got a different one of these coming to get this on here to stay. And then that will kind of run up like that, and this boot right here is gonna turn up a little bit, and it'll come over and send the intercooler line down in this corner. A lot going on with the intercooler thing, and I'm not sure how this is gonna go. And I may end up changing a lot of this later on. We'll see. Fighting the battle on Hydro Boost because I got this one to work. This is my return. I need to change that end of it down there. I am not happy with it at all. It's kind of rubbing the frame and it's too tight there. So this right here is just a rubber line that goes into here, and I need to change that some. I've got this fitting here, but I don't know if that's going to work right. I've got the correct fitting coming. It's the right thread type, but it's got an O-ring seal, and I'm afraid that's not sealed properly. I really need like we'll call it a flange aside. Anyways, yes, I'm going to get that done. I'm going to run that in AN6. This is what TPFE is what they call it. So it is rated to be used as power steering pressure line. So all this is coming together. The brakes are done. I think I went over that in a previous video. The air lines, they still aren't done yet. I'm going to have to drill holes up in through here to put the air lines in. That way I can get them in the cab for my pressure gauges. And then the other lines will run back under the cab because I've actually still got my manifold that's under the seat. And we're not going to open the cab right now. What else we got going on? I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that. Right now I'm waiting on a hose for this. I kind of re-welded this in down here, and it's going to come out through here into my radiator, and that's going to be a whole different problem. I got some 90 fittings coming. Oh, the fuel pressure regulator. I've got it mounted in here. That's why all these hoses are hanging here. I've got to put 2 fittings, one on each side here. Actually, you can do it on one and tee it, but I'm going to go ahead and do one on each side, and then my return through the bottom. That's what these are. These is my pressure and return from the tank. I need to go ahead and cut that fender on out right there. It's actually too tight. So I want to cut that and grind that down smooth and make that nice. And then I'm going to put a cover over top of those lines. You can see that they run alongside the outside of the frame down through there. So it's going to work out all right. And yeah, I'm using the original Loadstar tank that we... there's my fuel setup all plumbed in the way it's going to be with the pump and everything. I don't have it wired yet, so that needs to be wired. And then the tank fill is still right here on the outside of the truck. Where this was gasoline, this will now be diesel. So it's a draft tube. It doesn't care. The tank's been cleaned out and dried out for a while now. So we've had it empty, bloated out. It's been empty for months. It'll be fine. Yeah, I think, oh yeah, something I didn't get on film because I was kind of quick trying to get it done. Come underneath here for a second. Got my name there on the drive shaft because we now have a balanced 2-piece drive shaft with a modern carrier bearing that actually connects to the dump truck transmission and comes back and connects to the GM 1-ton axle. So definitely excited about that. That's a Driveline 1 in Columbus, Ohio. They hooked me up there. Got that built for me. Them boys didn't ask a whole lot of questions. I said, I got this monster U-joint, and we're going to try and get this done, made this way. And they went, okay. So we're going to take a minute and look at the list. So I have worked pretty steady for the last little bit. And as you can see, a lot of these things are marked off here. So... but it's getting so busy that now I'm losing my place, and I need to add a few things to this because I'm afraid I'm gonna forget some stuff. And so I need to like make this has to get done for the trip. This has to get done for the trip. And some of them seem kind of not real important, like they shouldn't take that long, but they need to happen. So let's see here, movie magic and. Okay, that looks a little better. So now that we've got a bunch of the other stuff off here, it's not as busy. We can see where we're at. I've got the new gauges. Dad did cut the sheet metal for the panel, so I've got them to really fit. I don't have none of the wiring to them done. Seats, I wanted to slightly modify, but we do have to put them back in if we don't do anything else. Airlines and controls for the front. The back's still pretty well done. I didn't change any of that, but the fronts need to be completed. And I got to make the e-brake mounts. The battery relocation I'm working on. The glow plug system needs to be made. Torque intake bolts. I erased some of that. Messing up. Oh, no. I'll have to write that back. I know that seems kind of minor. When we get to the point where we've got the brackets built off of and everything, we're going to torque those bolts and make sure they're torqued. Because if I forget to do that, that would be bad. And right now, it's the only thing on the engine that's not torqued to spec. Air horn relocation, I've started. Wiring is obviously a big deal. Exhaust, I've got most of the pieces for that. Intercooler piping is going to be a disaster. And fuel lines aren't done yet. So, now I need to add some stuff to this list. So, okay. So, I've added a few things, cleaned some stuff up. The seats are over here because I had them over there because we might modify them. But even if I don't modify them, they have to go back in. Fuel line's got to be finished. Sensor wiring. Now this is oil pressure, water temperature, pyrometer, boost gauge, which the boost gauge is not really wired. It's going to be a tube, not a sensor. But anyway, regardless, I got to get it all set up to where I'm getting everything to the dash since the dash is now made. And then the Crankcase vent's got to happen because by doing away with the CDR valve that's in there, now I don't have any kind of crankcase ventilation, and we're going to try and maybe take it back into the intake boot. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. Trans tunnel's got to be finished. I finished the firewall and finished the, we'll call it the doghouse, and I got the tunnel to where it's like mocked up and all rough and raw metal. Matter of fact, it's laying back over here. But I've still got to like finish up the edges of it, make it look pretty, and paint it. I guess I could just put it on the way it is for the trip, and that might be something that happens. I don't know yet. I'd like to finish it up, insulate it, and do that kind of stuff. Radiator hose. I know that sounds simple, and I've got one hose that should be perfect. Like, it'll be done. The bottom hose is a booger right now because of the location it's in, how short the line is going to be. I may end up changing what I've got coming off the motor. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure yet. So that one we've got to solve. That one's going to be a problem. Intercooler pipe is still on there. Exhaust still on there. Wiring still on there. Horn relocation still on there. This side is all the same. I didn't change anything over here. I just added some in here. And then, of course, clean. We got to clean the truck. It's filthy. The inside is filthy. The seats are filthy. It's been sitting in the garage where a bunch of grinding and welding and painting and everything else has been going on. And it's just dirty. So we do have to clean it before I can actually take it anywhere. Not necessarily because I'm afraid to be seeing a dirty truck. The windshield's so nasty the first time I get caught in rain, those windshield wipers don't have enough oomph to clean the windshield off. It would be dangerous. So we got to clean some stuff. Good bath inside and out won't hurt anything. Outside of that, this is where we're at. It is, hold on. I don't have my thing open. There, 12th. It's the 12th. It's currently July the 12th. So we need to have this done by August the 7th. That's the day we are supposed to drive out, right there. So with July the 12th, as you can see, I've only got a few weeks left to pull this off. Okay, August the 7th. Now let me tell you the importance about having a list. This is, if you're thinking about starting a big project, there's a bunch of tips I can give you. If you're taking something apart, freezer bags, write on it every little piece, put them in a bag, put it in a bucket. That way you know what it came apart. That's going to be one of those things. I've got my bucket over there with the inner fenders and all the other bolts and stuff we took out. You got to know where it came out of to put it back. And I know you think you'll remember, you won't. If you do, your memory's a lot better than mine. So that's a nice tip. But one motivational tip is have a list. Sit down, think about it, create a list. Because right now, I'm losing my mind. I feel like there's an avalanche of stuff to do because I'm sitting here looking at a truck that is nowhere ready to take out on the road. And it's just like, I'll never get it done, I'll never get it done, I'll never get it done. I've still got a lot to do, and I might not get this done on time. But until I actually put it somewhere, piece of paper, we got a whiteboard here in the garage, until I put it somewhere where I can keep track of it, then it becomes this big hairy monster that I can't define. But once I can define it, I can pick something on that list and work on it. And then come back over here to the list and mark it off. And when I can mark something off the list, that makes me feel like I'm being productive. And nothing's more terrible than yesterday. Yesterday I came in here and worked all day and built stuff and had problems and solved stuff that wasn't even on the list. And at the end of the day, I couldn't mark anything off the list because I didn't have anything done. I felt miserable. But at least I was working towards something that was on the list, and I found problems that I didn't even know I had to put on the list. So today, I'm going to work on marking something off the list. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get back to work. If you think lists are important, comment below. If you got other tips for other people who are doing projects, put it in the comments down below. I want to hear what motivates you guys. I want to hear what tips helps you guys work on your projects, because, you know, maybe I might learn something to help me on the next one. You guys might know something that I don't know because I'm nobody. I'm not perfect at this. So stay with your projects. Don't give up on them. And even if I don't make August the 7th on this truck, I'm not giving up on this truck. No, we might miss that deadline, but this truck's getting done. So guys, if you want to see the truck get done, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe and follow along. And until I get something else marked off the list, we'll see you guys on the next one.